Boom sakalaka. Boom sakalaka.
I will
Suddenly
ask
he
you
takes that
questions.
cup and I felt like laughing at that point in time.
I know, I was trying to get you.
Hi, this is Payal from Artistry. Today we have a doctor, entrepreneur, MBA, US Army, and a firefighter with us, Michael Kochili. So, Michael, hi.
Hi.
So, another end we have Rishabh Manod. I am Ahmedabad. He has 2 startups in his kitty, and he is the reason behind 50 other startups at Coursera. Hello, Rishabh.
Hi, Pam. Thanks for having me.
They are here to help us visualize our career.
Thanks for coming by, Michael. Michael's been in 6, 7 professions. I have ventured out into 5, 6 of my own, and currently, as we go about helping, various creative and cultural industries go out and excel internationally. So I think where we could come in handy is telling people about our past experiences. And I know what the questions are going to come from the audience. A lot of the people would not know, for example, what they love. So maybe them pointing all those things out to us might be of great help when we tell them that exactly do this, and you'll actually find out what you really love. Or some of them might just say we do not have the money to follow our dreams.
Yeah, I really like your point about the idea that people don't have the money to do what they want to do. I would say that you don't have the time to do anything else. Right? Time is the only thing that goes. Money comes and goes. Family and friends come and go. Hopefully, family doesn't go, but for sure, time will go. So if you're not doing what you want to do, if you're not doing what you love, then you're going to end up aging, and you're going to end up, let's just be honest, you're going to die someday. So what ends up happening is the excuse of I don't have the money to go out and do what I want to do is met with the reality of I don't have the time to not do what I want to do. It's okay to spend 7 years building a business that you don't enjoy but that makes money, but that should be something that you have an exit plan for. It should be I'm going to work 7 years, I'm going to put the money away, but then I'm going to use that to launch the company that I actually want to spend my life in. If you're going the entrepreneurial route, or find a career that you love, something that when you get up in the morning, you're excited to go. I know this sounds cliche and everyone says this, but it actually is that simple. So what we're talking about here is really just the nuances of that simplicity. So that would be my answer to that. I think I've learned a lot from travel. It's been 33 countries. You got me beat. Together we have about 70 countries.
I'll try and always be one up
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's true, but yeah.
There's a rule of thumb in traveling. You should always have gone to more countries than your age.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm 33. I've been to 33 countries, so I've got to go to another one before I turn 34. So what ends up happening is when you travel, you meet a lot of very interesting people. And you see that everyone there's different languages, different religions, different cultures, different food, different music, different clothing, different temperatures, everything changes. But the people are doing the same thing. They're all trying to find what they love, and they're trying to provide for their family and come up somehow in life. So that's why this is such an important topic.
Absolutely. I see a direct correlation with my life somewhere in that. Frank, thankfully, been to similar number of countries as he has, and I've met such amazing people who have built relationships over a great period of time, and who've given me sort of a peek into the life that I've always wanted, and that has helped me shape my own life. So today, of course, in hindsight, I can say a lot of things that I did not know when I was in a Sri Lanka or in a Moscow or in a Paris. But having been there, spoken to a certain kind of people, done certain things in my life, have given me an impetus which I have been able to somehow put into my career. And I think that's just one facet of it. Apart from that, it's easier said than done, as we've been trying to tell you, do what you love.
So we see a lot of women settling after marriage and after children, and then they go clueless on what to do, how to start, because of the gap that they have from the career and the marriage and the children. So when they get back to the track, they are so confused and they end up doing wrong things or end up choosing wrong paths, and maybe they don't utilize their caliber and potential to the fullest. Do you
Right.
think this kind of a workshop would help them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mike, I'll take this. We've been fortunate. We've worked with over 100 brands in the last 2 years and helped them take it, outside of India, right? And our stat is we've got 94 of those 100 clients are women-led brands, and probably more than half of them are of women who are on the other side of the marriage line, right? So it's taken them a while. Some of them are ex-bankers, some of them are ex-doctors, all between the age group of say 20 going up to 55, 60. We have one very interesting client who's a doctor for 40 years and suddenly decides, hey, I've had enough of medicine. I'm going to hang my boots and do something in fashion, right? So it's never too late.
And how about the children? Like once they graduate or pass out their 10th, for instance. So how do they recognize which field is meant for them, not wasting their time experimenting a lot of things?
I don't think that experimenting is a waste of time. I think that that is the path to figuring out what you want to do. For instance, Questera, what you guys do is you give people a sample of the industry before they go. And that allows them to observe what they're going to be doing from a third party and with hands-on experience. So I think that's important. I can tell you from experience that in medical school, we would have a lot of people who were really good test takers, they were really smart, and they passed their exams. But when we got to third year and we had to deliver babies and we had to give shots and we saw dead bodies and blood, they could not deal with that. They had never been exposed to something like that. And they cracked. They either cracked emotionally or they just decided this is not what I want to do. And they either finished the degree and went into a theoretical part of the degree, like research or epidemiology or something like that. But a lot of them ended up dropping out at that point because they were just so shocked. They didn't realize what they were getting themselves into. If they would have just spent one day in a hospital before they started their degree, they would have learned that. And instead of wasting all that time, money, and the embarrassment of half finishing a degree. So it ended up actually having a huge opportunity cost because they had not experimented. Before I went to medical school, I was a firefighter in EMT, I was in the US Army. I'd seen a lot of pretty gruesome stuff already. I knew that I could handle it. I knew that I actually find it fascinating and I like to be there for people in those moments when it's the worst day of their life. So I already knew that I could handle the stress of it and I actually thrive in that environment. But if you don't know that that is an environment that you're going to do well in, and you've never experienced it, you're actually wasting your time by jumping into a degree that you haven't actually experienced. So I would actually recommend experimenting, even if you don't have money to take a proper tour with a company like Questera, which is going to be the best option you can do. If you don't have the time or money to do that, call your uncle who's a carpenter if you want to go into carpentry and go work at a shop for 2 weeks. If you want to be a mechanic, go work at a mechanic shop down the road. If you want to be a lawyer, look someone up in the phone book and ask them, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm 18 years old. I think I want to be a lawyer. Would you mind if I just came by the office and hung out for a couple days? They'll say yes. These are good people. And if they say no, call someone else and keep calling until you get someone who can give you some kind of on-the-job experience, even for 3 days, or 2 weeks would be better. Then decide this is what I actually want to, where I want to end up. And I guarantee that person will follow you through your journey and they will be rooting for you and they'll be giving you advice. And maybe that will be the person that hires you for your first job when you're
Absolutely.
out. So I would say definitely do experiment. It's not a waste of time. It's a waste of time not experimenting.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Payal, there is, I mean, because you're doing such a great thing of showing direction to your audience, I think this is a cue for you. Maybe your artistry sessions could be a day in the life of a banker. Having a distinguished banker come by and take a 2-hour session about how his day goes, right? And then the next week you could have the day in the life of a doctor, a day in the life of a cameraman, a day in the life of a fashion designer. I think that's a great opportunity for anybody to come by and see how their day goes.
I agree. This could be,
Thank you
And
so
if you do that, I need goodwill. I need my money.
some commission. Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be that. This could be the
Because never
introduction.
lets a business go.
Yeah. This would be a good introduction course. The one we're teaching now would be a good introduction
Absolutely.
course. And then you could specialize from there and say, okay, now how many people are interested in medicine? How many?
Absolutely.
I could teach that about the day in the life of a doctor. Wow, that's a great idea.
I need my money. Remember that. Yeah.
And that's the day in the life of an entrepreneur. Make sure you get your money.
All right. So Coursera mentors a lot of brands go global. Unlike other companies, the idea of clubbing travel and learning and networking together in one platform and all your intensives. So how did all that start about? I mean, that idea is so unique.
It happened while we were on our travels, and we realized that I'd just quit my banking job at that point in time, and I was exploring my options. And while I was, I had probably traveled to around 10, 15 countries by then, and I realized that I'm meeting so many amazing people. And today I could, let's say, buy tea from Sri Lanka and sell it in India, or buy rafting gear from Bali and sell it to the Mangalore. And so I thought, that there is so much that the world can do, and so much that the world can learn while they travel. And we spent some time on how to formulate this and put it down on a sort of a business proposal, and then we launched a year and a half ago, and I'll be happy to tell you in the last 15 months we've been to over 16 countries. We've helped over 50 brands sell internationally. We've had over 100 customers who now have explored international markets. And as we speak, we're working on new brands going international. So for me, it came through travel and a lot of meeting people and a lot of ideating and a lot of scrapping ideas as well. So putting all of them together, we came up with Coursera, and thankfully, where we are. We now work with the world's best fashion school. We now work with some of the world's best brands, whether international, from say the Louis Vuittons of the world or the Ekayas. And they all believe in the power of experiential and immersive education.
Yeah.
And I think, it's almost like going back to what our roots were, where you had to do something to learn it rather than read a book about it, right? So we come from that philosophy, and we like, rather than just sitting down in a classroom and having a debate, which is good, which is all good, I'm not denying that. You'd probably learn a lot more about making a cup than by making it, rather than by learning how to make it. Right? And that's what we believe in. So we take them out to the Pradas and the Guccis of the world and show them how did Prada actually happen.
Let's meet them together on Saturday at Art Street, 2 p.m. To enroll, click on the below link.
See you guys there.
Bye-bye.